everybody, thanks for joining me in Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm Melinda Pierce, and I've been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 20 years. I'm happy to share with you today a video tutorial on how to make a fun fold card. It's not too terribly difficult, but there are a lot of measurements. And I'm just going to get right to it because it's a lot easier to show you than to explain to you exactly what it does. So I'm going to point you down to my work surface and get right to it. Okay, so this is the card that I will be showing you how to make today. It does have a tie on the end, and you can see that it starts vertically, but then it ends up as a horizontal fold. So it's kind of a fun, different way to make a card. And on this particular one, I used the Autumn Goodness stamp set from the current catalog, the current mini catalog from Stampin' Up. And I used the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper. You can see that it has some embossed images on that. It already comes that way. It has copper and gold and all kinds of really nice metallic embossed images on that. And also the image on the inside is also from the same stamp set, Autumn Goodness. Okay. So that was my original card, and then I made this card, same type of layout. I did this one during a Zoom get-together. I do have those on Wednesday mornings and sometimes on Saturday mornings. If you're interested in joining us, I would love to have you come join in on the fun. We work on our own individual projects, and then I usually have a featured project, and this was one of them. You can find out all the information about those Zoom classes or Zoom get-togethers at my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Melinda's Rubber Room. And again, this stamped image is from the Autumn Goodness stamp set again. And this designer series paper is also from that Gilded Harvest stamp set. And you can see those images are embossed as well. This has like a copper embossed image to it, and I brought that out with some copper metallic paper as well. So that's how that card was done. Now I'm going to show you how you can make that same card as a birthday card. So there's a lot of measurements on this card. So I'm just going to go through them one step at a time, and hopefully you can follow along. So you're going to start with 2 pieces of cardstock that measures 10 1/4 by 4 inches. And you're going to score both of those at 5 1/2 inches. That will give you a piece of 10 1/4 by 4 inches. That's scored by 5 1/2. So this side here is longer than this side here. On the short side, you're going to measure 4 inches from this edge. So again, this is the shorter of the 2 pieces. This is the shorter of the 2 sides, and you're going to measure 4 inches from this side over to here, and you're just going to make a tick mark. And you're going to do that on both pieces of paper. Then you're going to put it in your scoring tool or your cutter, and you're going to score from that tick mark to the opposite corner. So if you're using your cutter, you're going to use the light gray cutting or scoring blade and score right down to that tick mark. And I'll do that one more time on this piece. Again, lining up your tick mark in that cutting line and lining it up with that corner that's also in the cutting line. And then bring down your scoring blade, the lighter of the two gray blades. Okay, now what we're going to do is fold on that scored line, and you can just reinforce that score line with your bone folder. And I like to kind of open and close it a couple of times and score it in both directions, just to make sure that it's a free folding or free-flowing type of score line. It's not just going in one direction. And again, I'm doing that on both pieces of cardstock. This is going to be the base of your card. Okay, so you should end up with something like this. So you'll have two pieces that have score lines and folds on a diagonal. So if you just saw me, I had two pieces that were going the same way. So all you have to do to make them match up in the middle is just turn your cardstock around. So previously I had it going like this, and obviously that's not going to work. So I'm going to fold it back. So now I have one corner up here and one corner down here. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and attach those two pieces. You can either use tape or glue. There's a lot of alternate versions of this card that you could do as well, so I may have to do a follow-up video on that. Just different ways that you can make a card using a similar fold. I'll make sure all your edges are lined up. Hopefully you'll do a better job than I just did. It's always a bit more challenging when you're trying to do it on camera. It's actually one of the reasons I like to use glue, because it's a little bit more forgiving than tape, but for purposes of the video I chose to use the tape. Okay, so that's going to be the base of the card. And then I'll bring in the sample again. So now we have the designer series paper, and I'm using the designer series paper from the Subtles designer series 6x6 paper. This measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you simply want to cut it on a diagonal. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the cutter with opposite points in my cutting line, and using the dark gray cutter, cut those in half, and that is going to go right on those triangular pieces. So just go ahead and attach those. It's kind of fun when you find a fold that you can use for multiple purposes. I guess that kind of applies to any card fold though, right? You can just mix up what you're stamping and use the same folds for different reasons. This one is a little unexpected. It's not something that you see every day. Okay, so now what you're going to do is using your ribbon. Trying to see why this is different than my other one. I guess the fold is just going a different way. Okay, so we are going to put this down like so. I want to make sure that's going to open properly. There's hardly ever a mistake that you can make in card making that can't be fixed. Just either change things around a little bit or put an embellishment on top of it if you make a mistake when you're stamping. So I'm just kind of changing my layout a little bit as we go. Okay, so now that we have the ribbon in place, you can see that that's going to tie it together. And then when I unfold it, it's still going to end up in the right position. Okay, so now we are going to take a 3 by 3 inch piece of Whisper White and 3 1/4 I believe this is Daffodil. I'm just going to mount those two on top of each other. like so. I want to make sure that I have enough room for my birthday wishes. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that first. And then I already have a couple of flowers that I have stamped and cut out and colored. So I think I'll just put these on. I always need leaves with my flowers. So I'm just going to stick those on like that. Okay, I think I like that. So I am going to go ahead and raise those up with some dimensionals. Things always look better when you have a little dimension on your card. Stick that right back on there again. My leaves I will just tape into place. There's one more flower with the dimensionals. Couple more leaves. Okay, now this is just going to be taped onto the front of our card, but we want to make sure that we don't tape the whole thing down. I want to just tape down this section up here. That way it'll still lift off the rest of the card. Okay, so now that's attached and it will fold open like that. Actually, that's not right. This is supposed to be going up and down. It's supposed to be going like this. So that new fold has me all messed up. Okay, so I have some tape here that I need to erase. Let's get that off of there. Okay, so now this will open and fold out like so. Okay, fixed my mistake. Told you there's hardly any mistakes that you can make in card making that can't be undone. Okay, so now we have these areas here that I want to add some color to. So you're just going to take 2 pieces of 3 3/4 by 4 1/2, and on the 4 1/2 inch side, you're going to mark 1/2 inch tick mark. So this is my 4 1/2 inch side. I measured 1/2 inch from the side, and I'm going to cut from that tick mark to the diagonal. Like so. So now you can see you have this little jagged cut here, which matches this cut here. So this is going to go right like that. You're going to do the same thing with the other piece. Find your tick mark and go to the opposite corner. And then you can glue these pieces into place. You want to make sure that you're putting the tape or the glue on the right side of the paper. Because these are going to be on opposite corners. So you're going to have to do tape on this side, and then on the other side it's a different side. So you're going to need it on this side here. Hope that made sense. Just do a quick fit before you put your tape on, and everything will go much smoother. Okay, so if I fold this upright and have it in the vertical position, it should be just fine. Okay, so there we go. Then you fold it out and you have your card the way you want it. And then on the inside you have 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to stamp my other image. It says love to celebrate. And one more flower that I had previously colored and cut. Just put that down here on this corner. And then this all gets taped down right in the center of the card. So hopefully you were able to follow along on the video. If not, you can just go ahead and reverse it and stop it wherever you need to. But it really is a fun, different fold to make and to play around with. So I hope you have a chance to do it. Again, there's the completed card and it folding out. You can tie it up. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you will give it a try. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on my YouTube channel. You can also message me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Melinda's Rubber Room. And if you ever want to purchase any product from Stampin' Up, you can access my store from my Facebook page. I would love to hear any comments or messages that you have. So if you want to, just go ahead and leave your messages on my YouTube channel, and I will answer them there, or you can message me on my Facebook page. Okay, hope to see you soon, possibly at a Zoom session. So check out my Facebook page for all the details. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.